this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up. Jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
As the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Give to Cook out of the gun. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's got it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Able to fight through one tackle. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to have it.
Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They'll go with a keeper. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it. And now it's 4th down. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. He tried to keep it himself, but can't stretch his way in. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. On the carry, it's Cook. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it, and the Packers pick it up, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Vikings 24-yard.
Here's 2nd and 8. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Hands it off out of the gun. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
106 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big pickup there on the run.
Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
8 yards to go on second down.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. Looking to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll look to throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's George. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On first down, it's Jones. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, it's Jones. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Back to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
190 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he gets it down to the 32.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, They almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And the Vikings are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called.
And he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3-and-out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 36, Burrow eluding the pressure right. Open here, Adam Thielen. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. A big play there for Minnesota. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
DJ Waddle.
Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Now back to throw.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. The Packers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. Dalvin Tomlinson gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Running that 1st down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw.
A check down here to Jones.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this. What I think a part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Packers. Mecole Hardman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ballgame and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Packers. Mecole Hardman, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Packers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. The Packers keeping the offense out there now as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. On second down, it's Cook again. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 35. My goodness, 232 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just... And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. Dances by him.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
He was brought down by Eli Apple.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Handoff comes to Cook. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator,